Hey, what's up my fellow reefers? Here again in the frag box, and today I want to talk to you about chalice corals. Okay, so chalice corals, there are a bunch of different types. I think there are about 10 different species of coral that we all kind of just group into this word chalice coral. There's Oxypora, Echinopora, Echinophilia. They can get kind of confusing even for us here. We have some experience with them. This actually is not a chalice. How did you make your way up here? This is a favia. But anyways, I'm going to cover the basics, which applies to just about all of them, more or less. And so I guess we'll start with growth. So some of them encrust, some of them plate, some of them do both. The Echinopora are super fast growing. They're almost like a weed, like the one that we call Hollywood stunner. But certain types of chalice, like this one over here, doesn't grow terribly fast. They can grow quite slow. And it can take, a year, even longer than a year before you can appreciate something half decent like this. And I think that's why chalice corals are very coveted in the hobby, and they're quite expensive. Once you get into the very cool colors and patterns, some of them are, they're very desirable. The colors can get crazy. The patterns can get nuts. You can get 4 or 5 colors out of chalice. They're super fluorescent, and that is also reflected in the price of the coral. They have different trade names as well. This is a El Diablo, a Cloudberry. These are our grow-out colonies here. Raja Rampage, very well known. Atomic Cherry. Maybe My Miami, I don't know. I'm not remembering the names right now. But some of the nicest ones are from Fiji, which we can't get right now, but as well Australia, Vietnam, Indonesia. They've been in the hobby for a long time. Like the one Hollywood Stunner. Let me see, I should have some frags here I can show you. These things grow crazy fast, and they actually plate. So they grow off of the rock almost like a Monty cap. But this has been in the hobby for a long, long time. This is a classic right here. That's the Hollywood Stunner chalice. Okay, so when it comes to lighting, they need, I would say low to medium, around 100 to 200 par. We used to have some under our T5. We have some under T5 right now. They can get used to higher lighting, but I think LED, they look better. They really pop under the blue. It can be quite easy to bleach them, so I would always recommend with most corals, just start them lower down in the tank, and then you can work your way up. So they do well under low and even all blue lighting. It's not like Aquapora where you can get them to color up. What you see is basically what you get with chalice. This Raja Rampage, more or less, is always going to look just like that. Same with these ones. You don't get crazy changes in color the way you do with some other corals, but they still look amazing. And the blue lights, when you have the actinics, that's when you can really appreciate how nice chalice are. They really pop, they really stand out. When it comes to flow, I would say medium, moderate flow. Too little and you get what we have happening here. So I just moved these from the basement just to kind of show you them in the videos. They've been here maybe 2 days. I was just letting them hang out, but the flow isn't very strong in this tank right here. So we're starting to get detritus building up on them. So that's one issue. You can get dead spots if crud just starts to build up on them. So you need enough flow, moderate, adequate flow to keep detritus off their bodies. But you don't want too much because you can actually blow the flesh right off of them. So lower light and moderate flow, I would say. Very important thing to note with chalice, they are quite aggressive. So they will kill just about anything else that they touch. Some of them have sweepers, not all of them do, but they can extend at night. And you can't really group them together. You can't really do chalice gardens the way you can do other corals. Like you see these zoanthids here right out of the wild. They come with 2, 3, 4 different colors growing on the rock, and they intermingle, no problem. That just doesn't happen with chalice. So you can't really do chalice gardens. They're going to kill each other, and you can't really let them touch other corals. So you're going to want to give them space to grow out. When it comes to water, they're like most LPS corals, so you just want to keep them with regular natural seawater conditions. So for us, that's calcium of 450, magnesium around 1500. We aim to keep our alkalinity around 7.7 or 8. It doesn't really matter what you're keeping the levels at. With most corals, I'm always saying this in the videos, consistency is key. So they don't mind a little bit higher elevation levels for nitrate and phosphate, but if you get too high, they will start to peel. I don't have any corals peeling right now to show you what that means exactly. But finally, feeding. So like most LPS corals that are out there, they are photosynthetic, so you don't need to feed them. But each one of these eyes here is actually a mouth. So you can feed them. We use in the store Reef and Vitalis food. They're both really, really good. If you're watching in the States, I don't think the Vitalis is available down there just yet. Fauna Marin makes a great product called Coral Dust, I believe. We don't carry it here, but I've used it in the past. It's really good. But anyways, they do like to eat. Each eye is almost like, not like, they're like a mouth, so you can feed them. Same goes for Favia. Same goes for this chalice here. So they do like to be fed, and you can get better color, you can get better growth if you are actively feeding your coral. So I think that's enough for today's video talking about chalice. You know, if you guys got any questions, you can always comment below or hit us up. I'll leave our contact info at the end of the video. Just a heads up, we have some really, really nice corals hopefully arriving later this week or early next week, Australian corals. I'm excited to see those. Maybe get some cool stuff to help build this hammer garden out. Acan garden's a little bit lacking. And I'll leave you today with this new coral we just added. A little stressed still, but we got this really unique pink Gonipora flower pot. So I can't wait to see this guy open up and add him to our little flower pot collection here. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Fragbox TV, and happy reefing.